Welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe. In this episode, I just got done installing the Lasfit 8-switch panel that you will have seen me unbox and kind of talk about a couple videos ago. This week, I actually installed it in the GX470. Obviously, this is going to be install specific to the GX, but same principles apply. 98% of all of this information is going to be the same no matter what the vehicle you're installing it on, so stay tuned. Yes, we just installed it in the GX. I've got a few things hooked up just temporarily. I still need to go through and work on a lot of my other wiring that I had in there previously and sort through that. But I figured I would show you where I mounted everything, how I mounted it. Like I said, this is specific for the GX, but a couple of little neat things that I did are not vehicle specific. So you might be interested in that. Let's point the camera under the hood and take a closer look. All right, to start with, we obviously have the mounting bracket with the switch panel module mounted to it. And we have the 80 amp circuit breaker over here. Power from the battery going to the circuit breaker. I mounted this circuit breaker, it's screwed to a little plate of aluminum, and then that plate of aluminum is double-sided tape, which came with the kit. It's double-sided tape taped to the this cap here on this relay box. I didn't want to drill holes to mount this directly to anything. A lot of people will just drill it to the top of the fuse box cover. I didn't really want to do that. I had some spare aluminum around, cut that, screwed it on, whatever. Easy peasy there. Power coming out of the circuit breaker into the, and we'll do a close up after I kind of do an overview of this. Power coming into the module. I did shorten that wire just because it was fairly long for what I needed it. And the module itself has power and ground going to it. Ground wire is coming out. It's hidden. You can't see it. I've hooked up to the battery. That's extremely easy. There's two harnesses inside this module that need to be hooked up. Here's a close-up of the module. Like I said, here's our power coming in. There's a couple more wires. We'll talk about those in a second. Our ground over here. And here is this harness, is pre-made, comes with the kit. This just goes inside the cab, plug and play directly to the switch panel itself. This over here is to give power to everything. So I want to have access to be able to turn this stuff on and off no matter if the car is on or off. So I just put an end on it and jumped it straight over to here. So it has power all the time. So I can push the buttons on the panel and they'll always work no matter what. If you wanted it to only work when the car was turned on, you would have to find a switched power source and hook that wire up to that power source, basically. Then we have our fuses up top. One thing that I wanted to touch on briefly is the numbering of the switches and the amperage. So down here, we start at the switches go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then over here, I've got the instruction manual. You can see the corresponding numbers. A little bit more light here for you guys. How about that? On the switches 1 through 8 here. Now obviously the fuses start at 5 amp and go to 30 amp. Logic would dictate that you would want to make sure that you have your higher amperage circuits corresponding to the right switch here. Everything that I have seen in this, and my general assumption is you could switch these fuses out to fit whatever circuits you need. This is all sealed up, it's just a circuit board underneath here. It's all sealed with rubber, like epoxy. There's no relays in it. I can't imagine. All these lugs are the same size for the same size wires. I really don't think that it's going to matter if you were like, oh crap, I already put my sticker on my switch and wired it up. I need a 30 amp fuse down here instead of a 5 amp. I would just switch the fuses. Now, I have to say, user beware, you know, whatever. but you know, I don't see that being an issue. Right now, let's see, I have this switch is my driving lights, which are off their own relayed circuit anyway. They have higher wattage, so they need a relay. Basically, this switch is turning on the relay, so that's fine because the lights are still getting power via the relay. No problem there. I have 2 circuits for my white and yellow rock lights. I'm going to put, well, I can just show you guys the switch panel. I have the switch panel backlighting turned on right now. So this is my driving lights, just my white driving lights, the Lasfit 3-inch pods. This is going to be a under hood light. I need to mount that. Here I have the Lasfit rock lights. I did them different labels just so I would remember which ones were white and which ones were yellow. So the underglow I have as white. The rock lights I have as the yellow, amber, whatever you want to call it. And I had talked previously, I want to put a bigger transcooler in this with a little fan on it, so that is going to be that. I couldn't have this be a blank because it would mess with my mild OCD, so I just put an auxiliary power button there and then blanks here. And that's how I have it. These are just stickers. They go on really nice. It looks a lot better than I thought. They go on very easy. So no complaints there. Like I said, I have this panel powered up constantly, so these will work all the time. You turn it on and the backlighting is going to come on. And I don't know if that has a timer on it, but I do know if this on off is what turns the backlighting on. And it's actually, I'm not gonna be able to show it on the video because of lighting and stuff, but it will change brightness depending on the ambient brightness surrounding it, which is pretty cool. And it does time out. I turned it on while I was working on some stuff, went inside, came back out, and it had timed out and turned off. Ooh, can you guys see that as I wave my hand over? I don't know where the sensor is on it. Is that the sensor? Oh, there's the sensor. Okay, so cool. Turn that off. I'm not going to do it in the video, but in the instructions, there are actually 3 different modes for these buttons. You can program each button individually for just solid on, off. You can program it to be, it's a momentary switch, so as long as you're pushing it, it has power, and then when you release it, it has no power. And then you can, like if you want to get crazy obnoxious and be that guy, quote unquote, that guy, you could hook a bunch of your lights up and program them to strobe mode. So there is that. As far as mounting the panel, let me change my focus here for you guys. This is kind of temporary just because I want to see where I liked it, how it worked out. I got an extra trim panel from somebody on Facebook. Thank you for that. And I drilled holes into it and I mounted the bracket for the light switch panel to that, and it just clips into place still. This is fairly heavy, and at least in town, it doesn't rattle around or bounce or anything, make noise. Off-road, I don't know. What I was thinking about doing eventually is there is a bolt hole here, and that's a pretty significant bolt, to drill hole in this bracket and the trim piece and bolt it all straight to the dash, because that actually bolts to like structure, and just leave this clip and this little screw here, and then that would bolt it straight to the dash, and it would be really firm. So for the time being, I like where it's mounted. I think it looks cool there. It's easy to get to, and that is the panel itself. All right, what we haven't talked about yet is the bracket that mounts the module. Now, I'm not going to take it all apart and put it back together step by step just to show you guys. Sorry. Essentially, this is a giant L bracket. If you have your kit, you'll see that, and you just need to mount that to something with 2 screws. Now on the one side, on the side back here, there was already a bolt on the fender, the inner fender, and so I bolted part of it to that. And then up here, let's see, you might be able to see down there, that's the relay for my driving lights. I drilled a little hole in the inner fender, hit it with some paint so it doesn't rust, and I put a nut zert in there. And so I have the bracket and my relay all screwed there nicely. It's very secure. And on the top, of course, it comes with a lot of screws and stuff so that you can mount this. I changed a couple things just because if you watch the channel, you'll know that's how I am. 1 screw here, another screw on the other side. Like I said, it comes with nuts and bolts to screw all this together. I actually put riv nuts, nut zerts, whatever you want to call them, 1 on each side, because then I can just run the screw down. I don't have to worry about having a socket or a wrench or whatever and tighten stuff down. Screw down, I can take everything apart super easy if I wanted to. And yeah, this wire, it powers that relay. It's the constant power for the relay. This won't come with your kit. You won't have that, so don't worry about that. That's the relay for my driving lights. It was nice to just bring it up here, tuck it in there. Doesn't pull a lot of juice, so it's not going to affect anything. And let's see, we've got the cover here. I still have plenty. Oh, we've got extra fuses in there. Cover still. I still have plenty of room to put the cover on, snap it down, and that is my install. I've got my winch line here, 1 auxiliary line here. This is the power that goes straight to the back in my trunk to my power for my fridge. That's just constant power. I'm not going to worry about putting that through there. And that's the install. Really easy. Like I said, kind of the hardest part is just deciding where you want to mount it and finagling it around to mount it in there. You can really make it as easy or as hard as you want. Well, that wraps that up. I'm looking forward to buttoning up the rest of my electrical and making it look very nice and getting my hood light wired up and that fan and the spring wired up, so I'll be able to use all those switches. I realize it kind of seems daunting if you've never done this. In the next couple weeks, I am going to put a video up where I install and wire up that hood light. It's 1 light, it's got a positive, it's a negative. It's about the easiest thing that you could wire up as far as a 12-volt switch, something that's an accessory, specifically wiring it to the module there. For those of you who might be a little scared, is not the right word, but hesitant. How about that? Hesitant to jump into a project as deep as this. So I'll be doing that video coming up in the next few weeks as I get that light mounted. Be sure to follow the links down below and check out the last video where I went through the unboxing and showed some of the parts a little bit more in depth. There is links and discount codes down below, a couple different places where you can buy it, whether it's Amazon or Lasfit's website. And of course, the price is just going to vary depending on when you're watching this video and sales and inflation, etc., etc. But there will be a discount code. Follow the links also over to my Instagram, my Facebook. You'll see me posting a lot of stuff about this, the 4Runner, mountain biking, family stuff constantly. And if you have any comments or questions, of course, feel free to drop those down below. I answer every comment. And if you'd like to have more detailed conversation, feel free to email me anytime at hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com. So till the next video drops, thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.